Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over some plays I will be making this week, what's going to be on my watch list, as well as the plays that the algorithm made over the last 2 weeks, as well as some of the options trades we made. So before we go jump in the video, if you guys do enjoy me giving my free analysis on a lot of stocks upcoming for the next week, please hit the like button. It really does help support the channel. We've been 3 for 3 so far. I called SMCI going down, up, and then I went ahead, also did call Boeing having a little bit of an upwards movement last week. And I've leveraged in those plays quite a bit, so I made about $10,000 to $20,000. Obviously, I'm playing with larger money than most people, so that is expected. I would lose more, I will win more. So just wanted to put that out there. But again, I try to keep my analysis as strict as possible for stocks I'm as convinced in as possible. So just wanted to put that out there. And do consider dropping any stock you want me to analyze down below. I do reply or at least see every single comment and do my best to get back to you. So with that said, let's go ahead and go over our algorithm's performance this week. Now, I do want to say that this was almost 2 weeks worth of stock, so it is quite a lot. I'm not going to be going over each and every play, obviously, as I shouldn't. I have to look into expanding the edge and also minimizing errors in the edge. So first things first, we started off the last week extremely rough. This had me pretty disheartened, right? Almost 3 back-to-back losers, and these weren't small losers. We lost 14.61% on a play. We lost about 5.83% on a play. I mean, these were pretty significantly large losers, and then we lost 22%. In fact, this was the largest loser the entire 2 weeks. So obviously, they cut into a lot of our profits. But again, the law of large numbers, I still did end up making money. We had 43 total plays. The average win-loss percentage was 0.79. The algorithm did go rogue at a point where it was analyzing another stock in terms of the movement instead of what I really wanted to analyze. So if you actually go up, instead of DJT, it started analyzing a stock called DIT. And surprisingly enough, I was able to take over here, so we actually did make money. But then there was also this stock called SMCI, which has lost us quite a bit. And I looked over it, and my algorithm was analyzing flow and sentiment a little incorrectly for this particular stock, which is really, really weird. So had we improved that edge, we would probably be above about like 1.5 or 1.6% average win-loss percent. But with that said, a win is a win, right? Out of the 43 plays, we had an average of 0.79, which I'm surprised even was positive. I guess I really focus on the losers, not on the winners as much. So I'm still happy we had a decent week, but for the people that are not able to trade as much, and had you picked the wrong plays from the algorithm, you could have lost money. That's something I want to be 100% open about. So while we are doing good, it's not guaranteed that everyone's going to do good. But that said, had you joined my options plays, you should have made that money back and more. I went ahead, bought Reddit calls, and it's a little interesting how I did my analysis here. I don't want to go completely in depth in this video because the way I did my analysis for Reddit wasn't exactly what we would call orthodox, and also would be kind of revealing the way I analyze certain stocks. So I can't really tell you why I went bullish Reddit, but I went bullish Reddit twice. We picked up the bottom almost perfectly twice. We went ahead, we got in about... sorry, this is me buying it. We sold it for about 13% profit second time, and the first time we actually made 52% profit. This was when Reddit went up 10% the day, and we bought it right on the dip. So we made a 32% average on our options plays. So that should have pretty much made back every single thing from the stocks. But the stocks are the base for the entire trading mechanism. So just wanted to put that out there. Now, if you guys are interested, by the way, in my options or my just automated algorithm plays, the link for the Patreon is in the description. Everybody's free to join. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am a software engineer, and I have programmed a system which relies heavily on fundamentals and less on sentiment, or rather it does factor in sentiment analysis as well, but not emotions is what I'm trying to say. I don't trade on emotions. I don't think anyone should. So with that said, let's take a look at this week's stocks. So the Trump Media and Technology Group obviously is still trending quite a lot. Not many mentions overall on Reddit for stocks this week. It's been rather dry for the most part. So we haven't really seen anything too crazy, but Reddit's a stock I want to talk about. I would still have my eyes on Reddit. I'm not as bullish anymore right now. However, that doesn't mean I'm bearish. I think it's reached a inflection point right here. It's extremely flat, right? The last like week or so. And that usually means we are headed towards a movement in the upside or downside. So I would really do my best to take a look here, try to analyze, use your indicators if perhaps you are any way of recognizing patterns, and try to understand what the stock's going to do. This is one way to really leverage into plays. Obviously, I don't put all my money in one basket, so I'll make a play. It's going to be risky. Reddit is risky. I've already let the rest of my Discord know that. But you know what? We've won the last 2 trades. I don't expect to win the next one, but I'll do my best. If it is Reddit that I'm going to trade, I will use my pattern analysis to really understand what's going on here. With Reddit especially, that's a good one to do. With that said, SMCI and MSTR are stocks I'm looking at. Recently, institutions have started getting bullish on these again. The short volume percentages have gone down below 0.5%, which usually means we are looking for an upcoming inflection upwards. So SMCI sitting at 940, went down about 6% the last week, down about 17% the last month, still up quite a bit. But again, the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So the best way to really trade these stocks is to trade with the market itself. So with that said, I'll be looking at SMCI. If I really find a good point to get in, maybe towards the upside for an upwards candle, I'll go ahead, get in. I'm going to be leveraging options with SMCI. With that said, since the implied volatility has been extremely high for the last month or so, the options prices will likely be inflated. And since it's been lower, obviously the human eye can recognize this, but the stock's been rather flat, but option prices will be very expensive. So it's very important to not just buy calls or puts blindly, but rather look at the implied volatility before you make a move in any sort of direction, and try to do it for at least a month out. To reduce that implied volatility, or at least like reduce the theta burn on your option. So you have to be very convicted in your play. And that's why SMCI is something that's on the table, but I need a better indicator for me to really jump in, like I did with Reddit. So that was really good. Now with Reddit, if you actually talk about the last 5 days, I'm largely surprised. I bought a call right over here when it was at 45. It went up to 52. We made about 50% of that call. Then I did buy a call on another dip over here at 45. We sold over here at close to about 47. And we made about, again, on a 3% spike, we made about 13%. So Reddit's looking interesting. Very flat since the last, I guess, since the after hours. But I do expect a trend in the upwards or downwards direction. So keep your eye on Reddit. In fact, let's go to the dark pools and just take a look at Reddit here. If I can provide any sort of analysis for people that have it on their watch list, I think it'll be pretty useful. Again, I'll try my best to, let's see, I don't know why there's a cursor there. Whoever programmed this website could do a little better. But let's take a look. So short volume percentages have actually gone bearish for Reddit the last week or so, almost the inverse of SMCI. What does that indicate? We might see a potential downside or downward candle. But again, this is Reddit stock is heavily influenced by retail sentiment. So keep an eye on that. If retail is extremely bearish, you probably don't want to get in because market makers are not going to let that stock pay out. So keep in mind, if retail is very bullish, you might want to go be bearish with the stock. If retail is very bearish, you want to go bullish with the stock. So that's an indicator you definitely want to look at. But this is also very important, right? Short volume percentages have been increasing. So we do expect a downwards candle, but at the same time, retail is also bearish. So we have to see which one outweighs the other. And that's where you have to take that educated gamble. That's pretty much what trading is, really. Recognizing patterns and taking educated gambles. Okay, well, so let's go and talk about MSTR. Not much to really talk about here. Also, I just want to say the last month or so, hedge funds, or rather institutions, have not been shorting it as much, which is interesting considering the stock price itself has been falling. This could be a lagging indicator of an upwards spike we might see sometime soon. Just depends on retail sentiment, right? If retail gets very bearish, I will be stepping in and buying some calls here. I think this is a lotto ticket that can easily go up 3 to 4 times, depending on what kind of calls or, again, shares you buy. So MSTR is back on the list. I'm really liking this price movement here. I mean, just looking good to pick up some shares or calls on the dip, but that's pretty much what I had for today's video. If you did enjoy, please hit that like button, subscribe. It really helps support the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace out.